On today's show, The Dark Below is showing up soon. So guess what? You're getting 2 shows from us this week, and we beat the raid. All that and more coming up.
You're listening to Destiny the Show. Welcome, Guardians.
Well, Ditty, we're doing something a little bit weird this week, aren't we?
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
We're shaking it up. Since The Dark Below is releasing on Tuesday, we're putting out 2 shows this week. Why? Because we have heard your feedback, and also ourselves. You know, we feel sort of bad every time that we do a show and a bunch of new stuff comes out, and we're like, man, we have to wait until next week? That's an eternity for our viewers and listeners. So yes, we're doing a pre-show for Dark Below and a post-show. We're doing a show today, which is on Sunday. It's going to come out, and then later this week, Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to record another show once The Dark Below is out. If you didn't know, if you're like living under the rock, The Dark Below, the first Destiny expansion, comes out on Tuesday. So we're going to be reaching out to a lot of our friends of the show and getting their opinions. We have Sassy, who's going to be beating the raid the very first night it comes out, or hopefully they beat it. We're getting word from him on how Crota's End is going to go so that come Wednesday, come Thursday, we can talk to you guys and let you know. This is what the raid is like. So far, this is what the expansion's like. We're really excited for this. How was your week, Ditty?
Pretty good, actually. It was just pretty slow at work, busy getting ready for finals, and... Excuse me. Actually, yesterday, Sanuk built her first computer.
Very nice. I saw a tweet or two about it. How is it?
It's really good. It's a mini ITX build, so it's like this really small powerhouse. It has an i5 4690K processor because she's just going to be gaming on it. She doesn't need an i7. Yeah. And her graphics card, oh my god, she has all the graphics. It's a NVIDIA GeForce 980. And
ooh.
It's like the graphics card is heavier than the power supply. No joke.
Nice.
It's hilarious and it's awesome and I'm super jealous. So
tall case, little case?
It's super tiny. It's a Bit Phoenix Prodigy, which is sort of the bigger side of the mini ITX cases, but it's still like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know. Think of a beach ball. About that size.
That's adorable. So it's portable for LANs too.
Yeah, but it's still pretty heavy. But it's
I'm sure.
More portable than my giant-ass case.
Is that what you'll be taking to QuakeCon?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. All right. And Destiny, we did some fun stuff. But what did you do this week other than the raid? Because we're really looking forward to talking about that.
So I actually got a lot done this past week. On the PlayStation, I actually did my first Nightfall. Shout out to Alex D. He helped me through that with some friends.
Nice.
And we'll do the raid on the PlayStation with him and a couple of his friends pretty soon. And I actually got... What did I get? I can't remember. My first exotic. We finished Thorn. And yeah, that was exciting. And then on the Xbox, I...
Don't tell your loot yet.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
But other than the raid, we did the Nightfall, and I got some legendaries done. I got to Vanguard rank 3, leveling up New Monarchy now, and I got the Swarm legendary machine gun from the Vanguard rank 3. So
I was going to ask what they gave you.
Yeah,
nice. I got Dr. Nope when I hit Vanguard rank 3. That's the auto rifle. It's almost leveled up. That's actually what I'm going to finish today, is maxing that out. And it's a good auto rifle. It just throws up a wall of bullets, man. Not very accurate. So I was salty. I got murdered in a Crucible with Vito and Sassy this week because it was like totally unupgraded and it was bad. It was very bad. Nice. Other than that, Destiny's floating our boats from what I can tell, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't played League in like a week and a half, and that's a really long time for me.
Nice. I'm trying to think. This week, yeah, it's a lot of Destiny. I can tell you the next few weeks it's going to be a lot of Destiny as well. I can't really think of anything big other than the raid. I've been doing Nightfall, Heroics, leveling up. Got 150 Vanguard marks ready to go. So come the Dark Below, if there's something I need to purchase, I'm ready to go. Not upgrading my exotics. I'm ready to get rid of Invective because that shotgun is stupid and bad. And other than that, I'd like to talk about our news so we can talk our topic. So let's get into it. So what's our first news story today, Ditty?
Bungie has confirmed player carryover to Destiny 2, meaning you can take your Destiny 1 character, and once the next game comes out, you can just hop on right over and immediately start Destiny 2. So that's really exciting. I kind of expected that because that's what the Mass Effect franchise did, and it totally makes sense for a game of this scope. And I was like, yep, okay, good. Thanks for the confirmation.
Yeah, I would have lost it if they said, no, you're starting new characters. These old ones, no, they're gone. Cool, but it's good to know.
Yeah, Dinglebot disposes of your dead body, finds another one.
Nice. And there's new Mars Strike gameplay from the PlayStation Experience going on in Vegas. You sent me this link, and you've seen it. What do you think about the Undying Mind?
So the Undying Mind is the PlayStation exclusive Strike that's coming out. I haven't actually seen any gameplay of the other Strike. I don't know if they played it in Vegas or not.
I think it was just the exclusive since it was the PlayStation event.
Yeah, duh, I'm dumb. Okay. Thanks for that.
They might have. I could be the dumb one. I don't know.
It would make the most sense to just have the PlayStation exclusive Strike. Anyways, so the Undying Mind, it does have some similarities to the Nexus Strike on Venus, except you can't really skip any of the enemies, and you actually have to fight through everybody.
Yep.
And I've been reading up on Reddit about a lot of people's reactions, and a lot of people don't like that, but I kind of like it because strikes become boring after a while when you can just skip like the first 3 areas of enemies. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And what I really liked about the Undying Mind is at no point in the strike do you take your Dinklebot out. He tells you this will take a while and you have to defend against 3 waves of enemies.
Yep.
This is just fight up all the stairs and get to the boss, and it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks cool too. I know everybody's saying it looks a lot like the Nexus, at least the boss does, but it's a lot cooler looking of a Nexus. Let's face it, it's pretty grimed up, different textures, etc., and the glow that it gives off is pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Hydra style boss, so he's gonna have the shield. He's gonna be that turret in the middle. Ooh, excuse me. But he has 3 shields and whatever. And he looks cool. I'm excited.
Exploits are going to come out too. Everybody was like, it shouldn't look broken at a press event, okay? People with the negative reactions, for goodness sakes. There are so many cool tricks for the individual strikes. Just this week, Sassy showed me one while we were doing the Nightfall that was really cool. The upper level strat where you stay up top and just kill that one guy who spawns behind you. I'd never seen that, and I've done that strike a dozen times. I know 3 other ways to sort of cheese it and get around doing it the normal way. The same thing's going to happen with the Undying Mind. There will be, I'm not saying go-arounds, but there will be cool strategies and different ways to do it. That's how it is with gaming. Where there's a will, there's a way. And Crota's End Raid. We got some news here, so why don't you drop it on us?
The Crota's End hard mode raid will not be available until January. You can only play normal mode on day 1, and the normal mode difficulty is going to be level 30. And the hard mode is expected to be at level 33. Don't forget, the Dark Below expansion is upping the light level to 32, so you can get up to 32, and then the hard mode of the raid is expected to be at level 33. And there's a lot of cool theories about why they're not releasing the hard mode, but the one that makes the most sense to me is the fact that they can iron out all the bugs in the first month. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
The line of thinking is, let's release the normal version, and then let everyone show Bungie the bugs, the cheeses, the glitches, and then give them a time to fix it, and then release hard mode for a smoother, better, more challenging raid experience. And that makes sense, and I think it's brilliant on Bungie's part.
It gives time for people to run normal, learn it, and then, get rid of there's a lot of exploits with Vault of Glass. Like, you and I just ran it this week, and there's still ways that you can get around doing it the intended way. And they've worked on it, but I mean, we missed the time at which you could push Atheon off the platform, which would be hysterical, right? there's going to be those moments in the normal mode during the first month, but when people are taking it to hard mode, speedrunning the raid is becoming a much more publicized thing. There's a lot more official teams, or quote-unquote unofficial teams, who are saying they're going to be the first to complete it, the fastest to complete it, etc. This is a good way to do it. Also, with hard mode coming out in January, it should be stated that the raid weapons are not coming out until January as well, which I also think is good because that allows people to sort of compete on a similar playing field. A lot of the folks who can play during the first week and just grind are going to have the option to get maybe a nice set of loot drop for the first week of doing the raid. Instead, this way, you got a little bit of delay. I should also state this. If you have exotics or you're on an exotic bounty right now, do not buy an exotic, do not upgrade an exotic, and do not complete your exotic bounty until the Dark Below releases. If you've not been paying attention, there are huge exotic changes that are coming in the Dark Below. The way we level exotics up is changing entirely. It would take a long time to sort of discuss it, and I'd rather not talk about it here. I think later this week, when we do our second show, Sassy is going to be explaining it a little bit for us. And just don't upgrade your exotics right now. It'll be a waste of a shard. It'll be a waste of your money, since exotics are getting this pretty fat reset and changing the way the progression works, basically. I think that covers it, doesn't it, Ditty?
Yeah, simple news.
Let's talk about the raid.
Salvaged relic data is now decrypted. Not of consequence.
Evening, Guardian. Earn your honor, Guardian.
Titan survey data requested by Vanguard.
So you and I completed the raid this week, and I'm really interested in talking to our listeners about it. I know a good portion of the listeners have done it, but I also know a good portion have not. We talk with you guys, and I would probably venture it's maybe a 50-50 split, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say 60-40, that
Okay.
60 have done it, so...
Yeah. Well, then, still, that's a big percentage of people who haven't played it. I know a lot of the folks on my friends list have not completed it. And I do know most of the players who left this game early at, like, say, level 25 or 26 did not complete the raid. We got to do it with a really cool team. Sassy, who you're going to be hearing on the show come later this week, was sort of our guide through this. He, as well as his team, took us through the Vault of Glass. For a little bit of context, they run the raid every week. They run it a ton. They had, I think, world record for the speedrun on hard mode for a little while. I don't know if they still have it. I don't think they actually still have the world record. They've been practicing going for it. Come the Dark Below, his team is going to be first night trying to beat the raid and trying to get good speedrun records. So the people we ran with were extremely experienced. And I'm just curious, how did the Vault of Glass treat you?
Pretty well. In the first area, what is that guy called? I don't remember. The guy with all the waves and the oracles.
The opening the door thing, or
the Templar? Yeah. The Templar, right? So I was on the right side, and I was never really overwhelmed because we had those experienced players, but only being level 26, I didn't feel like I was hurting the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I definitely felt like I was contributing, I was killing everybody, obviously as a hand cannon main, I'm going to be able to 1 or 2 shot most of the enemies coming out with precision kills. Yeah. So I could keep up pretty well. And I just really liked the whole progression through the whole thing. Like, my favorite part of the raid was the Gorgon's maze, I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. Like,
that was short. That was like a minute and a half.
Yeah, and like, I really like the mechanic of the Gorgons, like, and the lore behind it. They actually, if they find you, they prove your existence, and to them, if something exists, they kill it. That's really cool. And like, I don't know, I really like sneaking games. That's why I'm playing Shadow of Mordor, and that's why I love Splinter Cell. I love sneaking, and that's kind of why I'm a hunter, right? I like to be in the action, but not all the time. Yeah. And I actually have a commentary coming out on my YouTube channel about my Halo playstyle, but that's beside the point. So I really liked all the stuff in the raid. Yeah,
so it's a 3-stage adventure, basically, with little bits and pieces in between. Wouldn't you say there's 3 main fights? Templar, the Gorgon puzzle jump area, then we get to Atheon.
Yeah.
I loved the environment. I think the environment design down there, like the scale of that underground place, is insane. Like when we were just waiting for Sassy before the Atheon door, just sort of explored around a bit. Did you look at how huge that area is?
Yeah.
It's just so stinking cool. And I don't know, the encounters were really fun. You and I both mentioned this. I'd love to do the raid with people similar level because it wasn't very much of a challenge. We were playing with fully geared level 30s who have every exotic in the game maxed out and who do this thing in their sleep. So there wasn't a big threat of death, and we had every basically section explained to us. This is what you do here, this is what you do here. But if you were doing this for the first time with no explanation, having to discover and figure this out, oh, it would be like such a cool experience. Probably pretty frustrating, especially like the portal stuff. If you didn't know how the portal thing worked, that would be very frustrating, learning how to shoot the oracles and which one to stand on. But what a blast, man. I think it's very easy to say, if you have not completed the raid, you are missing out on a massive part of what Destiny is. And you're missing out on what I think is the best designed part from a gameplay perspective. I felt like the encounters were the best designed encounters in the game. Hands down.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
The environment, the challenge, the loot. I'm now obsessed with getting and leveling loot. So let's explain how loot works, basically. There are 3 chances for loot drops throughout, correct? I think there's maybe 5 if you include the chests, right?
Yeah,
5
aside from the chests, there's 3 chances to get loot.
Each of the bosses gives you the chance. There's a couple of chests, and you're only allowed 1 set of loot per week. So if we were to do it again before the Tuesday reset, we wouldn't get anything. World of Warcraft does the same thing. It's a weekly reset for raid gear, basically. And it's random what you get, but it's part of the fun. It's a good reason to run the raid. I didn't have the luckiest of drops, but you had an awesome drop set. So what did you get?
So if you follow me on Twitter, you already know what I got. But if you don't, I got, from the drops, not the chests, I got the gauntlets. I'm a hunter, by the way. I got the gauntlets, the chest piece, and from Atheon, I got Chatterwhite, Atheon's epilogue, and the last word. So,
which is the hand cannon you wanted. Which like, if you think about the odds of that, that's insane.
I hit the jackpot. I got so lucky. And the next raid run we do, I'm going to get straight Ascendant Shards. I guarantee it. My luck has run out in terms of loot. And we were talking about this before, but in the pre-show, I really like the fact that doing the raid guarantees loot. You know, It might not be the loot that you want, but you're going to get some type of high-level reward regardless. And
it's not all trash loot either. Like, I would venture 80% of the stuff that you would get, you're going to keep from the raid.
Yeah, like, now, in PvP, I'll switch out my gauntlets to something that gives me hand cannon reload speed because I main hand cannon. But that just makes sense. But I'm definitely keeping all the loot that I have because I need to get to level 29, level 30 to do these next raids and stuff. And, like, even if you just get Ascendant Shards, I still have to level up my legendary gear, you know? And I still need that stuff. So it's not like, at this point, it's not like it's a waste. It's not like we don't need it.
Yeah. I got a shotgun and a shader. The rest was energy. So I wasn't too pleased with the run. But the shotgun I got, can't remember the name of it right now. I'm sure everybody's like, gosh, are you kidding me? I was just leveling it this morning, but it's better than Invective, which is the exotic shotgun that I have. And I'm just about positive I'm going to be scrapping Invective once Dark Below gets here to get a shard, because that shotgun sucks in comparison to this purple shotgun I got. So it's cool that legendaries in the raid, the legendary weapons that drop, can be more useful than some of the exotics. Note I say some of the exotics. Oh, I bought Plan C this week from Zer. Did you?
Nice. No, I didn't actually. I bought the Hunter gauntlets, the exotic ones, the spine thing. I just think they're really cool.
The Warlock headpiece was really just for 3v3 people who play 3v3 Crucible, which I don't at all. So it's hard because right now I'm trying to save. I feel like come Dark Below time, it'll be like, ooh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. But right now I'm finally like accumulating enough where it's like, I should buy Plan... I heard from everybody, buy Plan C. That's like one of the top 5 in the game right now. So not leveling it yet, because Dark Below's on Tuesday, and then we'll level it up. But closing thoughts on the raid, man. To players who haven't played the raid, what would you say to them? And to players who have played the raid, what would you say?
To those of you who haven't played the raid, play the raid. Like, find some people. DestinyLFG.com allows you to find a group to actually run the raid and just do it, because it's like, man, I remember when the raid first came out, everybody was saying, dude, why didn't the game reviewers play the raid before Destiny came out? Because like, the Destiny score probably would have been increased by 1 or 2 points, because the raid is just so good. It's just like, it's so much fun. There's so many puzzles. Like, the jumping puzzle was the hardest thing of the raid to me, because I couldn't get it. It took me like 7 tries. And it's just like, it's just jumping, and that's the hardest part of the raid? That doesn't make any sense, but that's like the best part about the raid. You don't expect those kinds of things to be difficult, and it is, and it's just awesome.
I fully agree. To players who have played the raid, what would you say?
Get a better, faster time. I mean,
get ready for Crota's End.
Yeah, get ready for Crota's End. And so people who have played the raid, here's what I want to say. Don't expect Crota's End to be similar in mechanics. It's a whole new raid, it's a whole new environment, it's a whole new enemy type. Or not new, different, whatever. And don't try and cheese it the first time.
Play it through, experience it, and then develop your cheese.
Yep.
I'm sure there'll be methods, but I think they've wisened up. They have a lot of data. I'll just say this, like, to people who haven't played the raid, don't be intimidated by it. And even if it comes down to playing with strangers, try and play Vault of Glass before Crota's End, if at all possible. And for people who have played the raid, get ready for Crota's End. I really want to do Crota's End with Ditty without having a lot of knowledge. I really don't want to go through with a guide. I kind of want to learn it on our own and discover that. Now, if it's super frustrating...
Totally agree with that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get... We got lucky because we had basically tour guides take us through the Vault of Glass, and very experienced people who are like, and this is what T-Rex does when you feed it this, so don't feed it this. Like, I want to go through the learning process with Crota's End and discover it, because that would have been amazing. Probably frustrating, but you remember how long it took people to do Vault of Glass the first day it came out, man? I was watching it on stream, and it was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those numbers make sense. Now, when we played it, I'm like, this took people 6 hours. This is ridiculous. But to figure that stuff out, yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed. I'm very jazzed, actually. So I think that's basically what we got. It came from Twitter in the show later this week, because we're going to get a few more. We had a lot of people completing the bounties. We like seeing that. Your Tumblr Sparrows are pretty cool, and a few questions that we'll answer, so don't think we're overlooking it. Ditty, is there anything else you want to add?
You got the found verdict shotgun.
Thank you. Yeah, I got found verdict. Boom. Where can people find your content?
Twitter.com/wooshness, WOOOSHNESS. YouTube is the same, and twitch.tv/Destiny the Show.
Very nice. Remember, you can go to destinytheshow.com for all the links from today's show. I'll be uploading both YouTube versions of this in the same video. That probably didn't make any sense. iTunes listeners, we love you. We'll be streaming soon. You can follow me at BBK Dragoon. Follow us at Destiny the Show. Tweet us, and we'll feature you here on the show. We like questions, and we'll give you your bounty later this week. Everybody, enjoy Dark Below. We're very excited, and we'll see you in a few days.